Welcome back to Fast Track. I'm Bree Swartz, and this week in sports, we'll catch up with the women's softball team who is off to an amazing start this season. We'll also get the latest scoop on all the foul play taking place in Mackey Arena and around the Big Ten. All this and more on this week's edition of Sports. Stay with us.
The softball team kicked off their season. Bree Swartz has more.
The first week of the 2009 season will be a memorable one for the Purdue softball team. First, the Boilermakers open up with a history-making defeat by dominating number 4 UCLA last Saturday 2-1. This is the first time in Purdue history that the softball team has beat a top 5 ranked team. But it doesn't stop there. The team's upsetting victory earned them national recognition for the first time in the program's history with a number 23 ranking on the ESPN.com and USA Today Top 25 polls. And it only gets sweeter for the Lady Boilermakers as senior pitcher Dana Alcocer was awarded the Big Ten Pitcher of the Week title for her success. And rightly so after allowing only 2 hits and serving up 4 strikeouts in the UCLA game. Alcocer and her team are on a roll to say the least. The undefeated Boilermakers will return to the field this Friday in the Florida State Sunshine Classic as they take on Miami of Ohio. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Bree Swartz. Let's see how the Purdue women's basketball team did this weekend.
Boilermakers hosted the Wisconsin Badgers, and Fakara Malone played her second game back from a hand injury that she missed 8 games for, but she's going to get 2 of her 5 points early on as she drives in from the left wing for a layup. Malone only committed 3 turnovers despite the tape on her hand that made the ball slip, but she fined Jody Howell for 1 of her 5 threes, and then she's going to go ahead and hit a 3 of her own from a Jody Howell assist. Howell also had a big game as she would not miss from behind the arc. She would get all 15 of her points from 3-pointers as she hits another one from Kiki Freeman. But look at the Russian, Natasha Bogdanova, following her own miss, and then a Brittany Rayburn tip right to her. She gets an easy layup reminiscent of the hustle play by Robbie Hummel, but she also gets it done on the defensive end. After the Wisconsin miss, she's going to get backed in deep and comes down with an emphatic block. Then why not just complete the trifecta? She knows Jody Howell is not going to miss from 3 tonight. Boilers is going to go ahead and run away with this one by the score of 66-49 behind a 7 for 17 3-point shooting performance.
The Boilermakers just keep knocking down their opponents.
Well, yeah, there's only 5 games left, and they've already won 16 games.
I'll be eager to see what their status is come tournament time around March Madness.
Well, the outlook looks good for the women, but let's see how the men's did this weekend against Illinois and Penn State. On Sunday, the Boilers traveled to Champaign to face the Fighting Illini. The score was close early on, but here's the hustle that we've been accustomed to see as the ball's going to bounce around a few times after the miss, and then it's going to go into the hands of Marcus Green. He's going to find Juwan Johnson under the basket for a dunk, but Lewis Jackson also wants to be in the action as he gets a harm and the foul for the 3 the hard way. Illinois is going to make things difficult for Purdue in the second half, though, as Trent Meacham extends the deficit to 9. But we're going to fast forward about 7 minutes left in the game. Illinois by 12 and looking for more with a nice little give and go, and he's going to get a layup and the foul. Illinois is going to go ahead and finish the Boilermakers off 66-48. And then playing without Robbie Hummel, Purdue was held to a season low in points, field goal percentage, and 3-point percentage. Then Wednesday, Purdue hosted the Nittany Lions of Penn State. The Boilers would still be without Hummel, but forward Nemanja Calasan would make an early impact. So he's going to make a quick turnaround right there, and then he's going to drain the 3 to make it 14-11 Purdue from a Juwan Johnson assist. Then with a tie game, fan favorite Bobby Riddell hits a 3. But he's not going to stop there as Nemanja Calasan is going to find him in the corner for another 3, for a second of 3 threes. Then a soft floater as he goes behind Nemanja Calasan's screen. But Purdue's just going to run away with the game right here as Juwan Johnson goes up strong and gets real pumped up as he gets a harm in the bucket. But the big story was Riddell's 13 points, helping the Boilers en route to a 61-47 victory over the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Well, the Boilermakers have clearly been making a strong statement in their white and black jerseys this season, but on February 15th, they will be making an even louder statement as they take on Illinois wearing pink. Join the Boilermakers by wearing pink to Sunday's 1 o'clock game in support of the Pink Zone Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Donations of any amount, as well as donations for every free throw Purdue makes, will all go to support breast cancer research. And if you think you like your Boilermakers in pink, there will be a silent auction for the game-worn pink Nike jerseys. Come support the Boilermakers and the Komen for the cause.
4 violent incidents in less than 2 weeks of men's basketball play has caused referees and coaches to take action. There have been suspensions of Michigan's Zach Novak and Indiana's Devin Dumas by their respective coaches, and an ejection of Michigan's Manny Harris by the referees in all separate games. Also, there was a controversial pick by Wisconsin's Joe Krabbenhoft on Purdue guard Lewis Jackson. Among these incidents, Big Ten officials sent out a memo to remind referees and coaches to watch for excessive physical play. Illinois coach Bruce Weber said it's all due to high competition, and he's just glad there hasn't been any big fights.
Besides being Purdue athletes, 10 alumni will soon have one rare title in common: a 2009 Hall of Fame inductee. This outstanding group of men and women will join 99 former athletes, coaches, and administrators previously inducted into the Hall of Fame since its last inception in 1994. Two of the most recent Boilermakers that will be added to the Hall of Fame include 2001 graduate Katie Douglas, who now plays basketball for the Indiana Fever, as well as New Orleans quarterback Drew Brees, a 2000 Purdue graduate.
And that's all we have for sports this week.
For more information on Purdue sports, log on to www.purduesports.com. Now we'll turn it over to the weather team for the National Weather Update.
Take a look at our national weather, and let's start by looking at what happened late Tuesday night. There was a powerful low pressure system moved through Oklahoma, ended up producing 6 tornadoes, probably because of this powerful jet stream that was also associated with it, ended up causing a lot of damage in the area, and ended up causing 9 deaths. And the reason it was probably so deadly was the storm struck late in the night when people were sleeping and were not prepared for the storm. So always pay attention to the weather, no matter what time of day it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we should expect across the nation this weekend. We see there's a low pressure system out west, bringing some showers up north in the Utah area, but down further south probably won't cause much except for some cooler temperatures around the area, pleasant up in the Seattle area. However, nice and sunny in Texas, and we see in the Midwest there is a low pressure system bringing some storms throughout the area and maybe some snow up further north near Chicago. And we see that the high pressure has moved into the area up there, but is going to be quite windy like we just saw a couple days ago. Taking a look at Sunday, we see a high pressure system moves in, keeping most of the nation in nice, partly sunny skies, maybe some sunnier further south, a couple storms down near New Orleans, and pleasant weather out in Phoenix, maybe a couple snow showers up further north of Phoenix, and the low pressure system we saw moves off the coast throughout the day on Sunday. Now, if you're doing any traveling to go see your Valentine this Saturday, we see that in Indianapolis it's going to be in the 40s and a mixture of rain and snow. Chicago, more in the 30s and all snow. But further south, down in Evansville, in the 40s, but some rain. So it's going to be rainy throughout the day on Valentine's, but hopefully it'll clear out for some Valentine's plans in the evening. For the Fast Track Weather Team, I'm Samantha Wild, sent back to the studio.
After this break, we'll talk about the new RIAA response system.
And take a look at this week's community calendar. Stay with us.
Have some time to spare in between classes, then stop on by the Purdue University Gallery and Stewart Center to view some of Purdue's most artistic works of art. January 12th to February 22nd is the Earth Text exhibit. These are a series of wooden sculptures that create visual metaphors in book form. Come visit the exhibit Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. or Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. For more information on this exhibit, visit www.purdue.edu/galleries.